This is a non-celebrity chart. The lady whose chart this is, in her early 30s, at the age of 34, she adopted a little girl of about 3 or 4 years of age from the social services agency. And the following year, the agency asked her to foster care a little baby girl who was just 2 or 3 months old at the time. She agreed to take in the baby as a foster parent. Foster care happens when a child is placed and starts living with adults who are not their parents because something is wrong at home. And this can be temporary for a few weeks, a few months, but the expectation usually is that the child will be placed somewhere else, or the child might have to spend a long time changing foster homes. This is typically what happens. Because this was a little baby, this lady got very invested in taking care of her, and she was waking up nights, taking care of both the girls, the 4-year-old and the 2-month-old. And weeks passed, the agency was not able to place the baby anywhere, and then it became into months. And then they started asking her to adopt the baby because they were not able to place the baby girl anywhere. And in the meantime, she was also starting to feel attached to the baby because it was not that she intended to keep her, it was not something that she had asked for this baby. She was doing it more as a goodwill act to begin with. She was not really asking for this responsibility. And the attachment arose only because of duration of time and a sense of responsibility. And ultimately, 1 year later, she did end up formally adopting this little girl, this baby. And now her life became organized around pediatric appointments and school schedules. And it was not that simple, the adoption process. Her parents put up a lot of resistance to this decision that she had made because they felt that she was still very young and that having 2 children already might inhibit her from formally getting married. But she still nevertheless did adopt these children, and she did take care of them all through elementary school, middle school. The girls are teenagers now. All these years, she has taken care of these children. And so what arrived unasked for stayed as lifelong responsibility. Her life never really reorganized around romance or around marriage or other forms of partnership. And she has been the primary caregiver and mom to these 2 beautiful girls. And that has pretty much been the center of her life. And this is more about not having choice and responsibility being imposed before choice arrives. Before she could think or plan or choose, it was that responsibility was there in her home, and she coped with it. And then it blossomed into something bigger. In Vedic astrology, there's something called Atmakaraka, which is a planet which tells us about the soul lessons that one must get in this lifetime. And in her case, in her chart, there is a very heavy Atmakaraka involvement, which points towards having to care and a very big caregiving responsibility, particularly towards children. And it did arrive unannounced, unasked for, and then it stayed for the rest of her life. Her life completely is organized around the girls. It was not something she had planned or even looked into.